Really excited to be here. I wasn't sure I was going to be able to make it. I was in a plane crash recently, and it's kind of had me down and out. But I told my wife I might have dropped out of the sky. I'm not going to drop out of the race. So here I am, and we're running for Congress. So I just wanted to introduce myself, tell you a little bit about me, and what I stand for. I'm an Arkansas native. I grew up here in Arkansas. I was raised in Hardy, Arkansas. I'm real lucky because I was raised by my grandfather. My parents, they had some drug problems when I was a foster child when I was young. And he came into my life and rescued me. He taught me what it was to be a man of faith, a man of integrity. Honesty is what he brought to me. He taught me how to be a leader. One thing I was always really impressed with by eventually I called my grandfather Dad. He was a businessman, and I really got to watch him, lead these crews. We had construction crews, and we had exploration crews. So I spent my summers, digging ditches and spreading grass and making houses. And when I graduated high school, when I got out of the military, I was excited to start my own adventure in the business. A particular story I'm going to tell you, just to show how a lot of young people today sit around and they're mad about capitalism. You see a lot of dads throwing capitalism. So they're sitting there waiting for somebody to reach down and help them. Nobody's coming to the rescue. And that's because we have to help ourselves. Yes. And so I think that's something that we have to get that message across. We're going to lose this country. That message has to be published, and we have to bring Democrats into the Republican Party. We have to change their minds. We have to change their hearts. And bring them over. We have to grow this party. And so when I was a young man, I had worked at the newspaper. A local newspaper there in Hardy, Arkansas. I had an idea. I wanted to make a magazine. And I went to my bosses and said, hey, I got this idea. And they go, oh, get out of here, kid. So I talked about it with somebody that said, well, I'll give you $1,000 to start your idea. So with my investor, I thought, well, all right. So I quit my job and I started taking pictures and writing stories and laying out this little magazine. I was so excited about it. And right when I was ready to publish this thing, I needed him to write that big check he was telling me about. He calls me and says, nope, I'm out. I can't help it. And it completely broke my heart. I quit my job and didn't go to college and just was really hung out to dry over this thing. In that moment, I was just in such shock. I thought, well, I can't give up. I'm already this far in. So I went down the road and I spoke with a business and said, hey, I can put your advertisement in this magazine. And so one thing I had to show them was a little taped up, printed on an inkjet printer, kind of a demo. Looked crazy. I can't believe these people believed in what I was doing, but they did. And at the end of that day, I had enough money to pay for the printing of this magazine. And it went, and we published. And we've been strong for 2 years until we turned it into a newspaper. And it just goes to show that it wasn't money that I needed to start this thing. It was drive and focus. And an understanding that I am the master of my future, and I don't need to wait for somebody else to swoop in and say. Another example of just how we have to get this message out and what it means. Capitalism. We've got communism, this hate. We've got to fight it tooth and nail. I've had several people talk about communism, how they believe in their soul. Communism is the way to go. That's not so. My granddad, he had an idea one time. He had a little target, little shooting target. He loved to second amendment. And he had it drawn on paper. I said, what is that, Pop? He said, oh, it's my shooting target. I got an idea for it. And I said, well, let's see. So I put together a little model of it. And this little target, it has a spring inside of it. So when you shoot it, it sends a cane into the air, and you shoot that cane. Simple idea. Thought it was really neat. So he put together a model. It worked. I said, well, maybe we can sell this thing. So we made 12 of them. We sold for $25 each, for $300. We turned that $300 into some material, sold another 12, another 12. We handmade and sold 2,000 of these targets before we licensed it to Daisy BB guns. And we started with absolutely nothing at the kitchen table. I mean, we had every dollar we needed, paid for the next dollar, and today, that little target is still sold in Bass Pro. That's my granddad's legacy, and I was proud to be able to be part of that with him. So just part of my message is that, if I'm elected to Congress, we're all Republicans in this room. We're all against abortion. We're all pro-second amendment. But we need to have a platform and a voice out there to bring in the younger generation of Republicans. You have to grow the Republican Party. To do that, let young people know that it's cool to be Republican. It's cool to have God on your side. And communism is not the way to go. I'm asking for your vote. I think that's something I would have to vote for. Thank you. I'm Jody Shackelford, and I appreciate you.